August 9th, 2009. Blaidd Llwyd here again. I have bad news, worse than last time. The Chinese Communist Party is covering up hundreds of thousands of infections inside China in order to save face. The infected are being contained in ghost cities, and large fences being built around, letting the infected roam around to rot. The infected. God, they're rabid. Like damned animals. Speaking of animals, Russia is sending armed beastmen soldiers to exterminate the infected inside its own borders, and even in China to provide assistance with the epidemic. Beastmen are a uniquely Russian creation dating back to World War II. The Western world has put a ban on creating beastmen in a lab since Russia publicly debuted these creatures in the 50s, although they didn't become known around the world until 1989. According to files stolen from the Kremlin, beastmen appear to show a natural immunity to HIV and a lot of diseases known to make humans sick, like salmonella. Beastmen can eat raw meat, even infected meat, and be perfectly fine. Right now, I wouldn't be surprised if a 6.5-foot tall talking wolf wearing one of those Russian hats and holding a rifle was sent in as foreign aid. Britain so far has managed to keep the rotavirus under control with harsh but necessary quarantine measures. Only 1,000 reported human infections last month. Russia is an odd country to say the least in my opinion. Since the 50s there have been towns predominantly populated by constantly growing communities of beastmen. As of 2009, the average female beastman of childbearing age has 3.6 children, down from 7 children from an average female beastman of childbearing age in 1952. Still, beastmen are growing in numbers at a rate faster than Russia's human residents. The human birth rate in Russia as of 2009 data is 1.53 children per woman of childbearing age. I mean, human birth rates and population have been declining in Russia since the Soviet Union's collapse. The rotavirus only has mild reach within Russia when its beastmen population are completely unaffected. A few things I've seen on my trip to Russia last year on vacation. Beastmen and humans can legally marry, but cannot conceive a child due to them being two different species and biologically incompatible for reproduction. Nobody bats an eye on a talking husky when human clothes walks into a bar to order a drink. A lynx putting on a coat to go ice fishing with human friends is just normal there. Going to Russia is like walking to a bizarre communist Disney movie where humans and beastmen casually coexist peacefully. Hell, one of my neighbours is one of those handful of beastmen. They're immigrants from Russia. Anthony is an Arctic fox who lives just down the street from me. Kids in the neighbourhood think he's a living cereal mascot. Seeing a beastman outside of Russia is still very strange. Right, where was I? Updates on the rotavirus. Being old, my mind tends to wander a bit. Sorry about that. The CCP is covering up well over 1 million infected in the ghost cities. Some cover-ups are too big to not go unnoticed by professionals like me. Dr. Jeremiah Walton, an American engineer, and I have been exchanging emails back and forth. I'm trying to have his creation sent in to investigate the infected contained within fenced-off ghost cities located in China. Godspeed, Dr. Walton.